Hi guys, we're going to create the UI specifications for our Scrabble AI assistant, and we're gonna upload it to GitHub as Markdown. So first, we're gonna create a Markdown file. We're gonna call this MVP specification.md, and after we created that, I have prepared a Markdown file that we're gonna look later on in GitHub, and let's see what I have here. We're gonna call this UI design specification.md, and we need to put it inside the docs. And if you have that, we have here our markdown. What's left is just to push these changes that we have done. Okay, so created markdown for our UI design, and we're gonna push this, and we're gonna view it to our GitHub. So once we are here in our GitHub, we'll go to our docs and check for our UI design specification. So the goal is to create first an MVP. So this is an inspiration that I have got from a mobile Scrabble app, and first we're gonna turn it to a web application first, so that we'll have our running MVP. So the idea of the MVP is to open uh, the website and simply start new game. And we have also for our match history. So the idea is basically 4 core pages that starts in home. Start new game, continue current game, and view recent games. So there's no multiplayer option as of now. So this is the repeatable components possibly that we're gonna use. So the game, the core of the application is basically the screen has a board that will take almost 80% of the screen. Okay, and we will have our letter racks. So everything above this, like this player board, letter rack, shuffle button, swap button, pass button, this is like all the classic Scrabble UI that we are playing. But the new thing here is the AI assistant panel that we gonna develop later on. So after uh, the games has been created, we're gonna store this to our database. This includes the finished matches and the ongoing matches that we are covering. And settings, basically the white team and dark team just for aesthetics. Dictionary selection that we have here. Logout, just in case we're gonna develop a authentication in the near future. So I've considered everything that and just like the common Scrabble apps, like they have this like puzzles, social gatherings, and many other good to have features. We just need to focus today for our need to haves. So here is our layout, the layout sidebar and header for our web app. Most of the primitives that we're going to use in our UI is a button, a card, and a modal, badge, input table, avatar. So inside the game, we have the Scrabble board itself, the board cells, the letter tile, the tile rack, the scoreboard, and the player card. So this is the design tokens. This is more of like the global CSS, the colors, such like that. The main theme of the color that we're going to have. I have extracted here the colors that we're gonna use mostly. Typography is either Roboto or Inter. Font scale that we're gonna have, just in case Inter and Roboto is not available, we're gonna default to Open Sans. Font scale that we're gonna use is here. Also the pixels of the border radius, spacing scale. This will be like the idea of the React component structure. Yes. Suggested folder structure. Django endpoints API, if we're going to use Django for our Python, but this is a flexible idea whether we're gonna use JavaScript API. It depends on the situation, but for this hobby of mine, we're just gonna use this one. Okay, So the idea of the desktop layouts like this, the common sidebars. Once you go inside, gonna see the Scrabble board, the opponent information, the header, the title rack that we have, and the options we have below. So the idea is for our roadmap, for our UI to design first in Figma these ideas. Then we're gonna convert that Figma into the front end, wherein Figma to React HTML structures, reusable components. We're gonna try to execute that as much as possible we can, and we're gonna execute the core gameplay in the phase 3. And in the phase 4, we're gonna improve more in our back end, in our game state, and also we're gonna incorporate our AI. So if this MVP is done, later on we're gonna be able to proceed to another features that we have here. So the focus that we have is just to complete an complete Scrabble experience, wherein after that we're gonna have an option to have an AI assistant in every gameplay that we're going to have, so that we'll be able to have options and the words that we're going to play next. Okay, that's all. Let's go.